Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Tanzer. I am the team lead for Delta Database International. We are a database solution team based out of Stuttgart, Germany, with locations in Austria and Pennsylvania. Today we'll be discussing the database solution that we have prepared for Flix2You. Again, this is a project for IST 210. This is for Team Delta. Here you can see the rest of the team assigned by Delta Database to Flix2You. I, Christopher Tanzer, am the project manager and database administrator. My colleague Nathan is the designated data analyst and quality assurance representative, and Jeremiah will be the programmer for the database. One of the first and major problems we see with the Flix2You current database is the software and equipment that you guys are utilizing. The current HP ProLiant server hosting the database is meant for small businesses and will not work if Flix2You plans on expanding their customer base. The same could be said for the software as far as expanding customer base. SQL Server 2008 is 2 versions outdated, and we would like to see you on SQL Server 2012. There is also no easy way to access the information in the database. Managers need to access this information to make well-informed decisions. The way that we're going to do that for you is through database dashboards. There is also no way to track which movies the customer actually liked. There's no way to track their taste or satisfaction in their last movie selections. Also, there is basically no security on the website. Customers access the Flix2You website via a regular hypertext transfer protocol, and all their information is sent in the open and unencrypted. Nobody wants to submit credit card information or personal information such as their name or address unencrypted. Our plan that we have created for this project is to first meet with the Flix2You staff and employees, as well as any other personnel that Flix2You has designated be a part of the project team. You know your company the best, and your views on what is and isn't working is what really matters to us. After we collect any information from you, we will input any necessary changes and order any new software or equipment. We will then begin to install and configure that software and equipment, and then begin to build the actual database backend. We will test the database that we just built using sample data, so that if there are any configuration issues, your actual data will not be corrupted or lost. We will then test our queries and reports that we build for this data and present it to the Flix2You staff to ensure that we have everything that you need to perform your duties. After you've blessed off, we will then begin the actual data migration from your current database. We will perform backups and any other things necessary to make sure that your data is successfully transferred before moving on from this stage. Making sure that you don't lose any information that you've collected over the years is very important to us. After we've imported this data into the new system, we will then begin to build the web portal. Any security requirements or procedures will be put into place, and we will perform a final debug on the system before we roll it out to your internal users. Training your users is very important. They have to be able to use the system effectively for our changes to be effective. After the training is complete, they will have a chance to use the system, and we will collect feedback from them and make any last-minute changes that the Flix2You staff blesses off on. After we have completed the build of the system, we will ensure that Flix2You maintains all system documentation, and we will give a final after-action report detailing all the work that we've done and every change that we've made to your system. As far as hardware and software, we want to migrate the current Flix2You system to a cloud computing environment operated by Amazon. We will utilize the Amazon Relational Database Service, or RDS, to host the actual database itself, and their Elastic Cloud Computing Environment, or EC2, to host your web portal. Moving to Amazon provided services will cut down on your administrative overhead, as Amazon will actually back up and recover your system if necessary and patch any security vulnerabilities released by the vendors automatically. We would also like to move your web portal to a Microsoft SharePoint solution. Using SharePoint will allow for greater interoperability with your new SQL Server, and will be able to use current user groups that you have created in your existing domain Active Directory architecture. SharePoint is a very powerful tool for web developing and is already easily identifiable platform, as it looks similar to other Microsoft products that you have used, such as Microsoft Office. It can also be used inside of your organization as a collaboration tool and a place for you to host data. Here is our projected budget for this project, totaling at $114,440.81. This includes 1 year of all Amazon Cloud services that we have described earlier, as well as licenses for the servers and the salary for my team. After the completion of the project, the roles for the Flix2You staff for the IT department, management, and database administrator and programmer will be as follows. The IT department will be in charge of monitoring the system performance and resources for any anomalies, as well as providing baselines and managing the day-to-day user and system needs, such as account creations or password resets. The management will be in charge of identifying and prioritizing any changes that need to be made to the system, as well as performing security audits on the system quarterly. The database administrator and programmer will implement any changes that the management deems necessary and perform any other maintenance tasks needed. As I said earlier, utilizing the Amazon Cloud infrastructure will allow for automatic backups. You will be able to pinpoint to any time in the last 35 days and bring it down within a second. These are performed automatically with no interaction needed by Flix2You. You can also take these backups and replicate them to put on offsite storage or to put on a developer's workstation. Now we are going to go over the changes we propose for the actual database backend. Our changes will make for a more organized environment and make the system much more scalable than it is today. The first change involves the movies table. We want to separate the physical descriptors away from the logical descriptors about the movies. This will enable Flix2You to identify movies differently by the way that media actually gets transferred to the customer. The second change is to the rental, sale, or both column. We want to change this to a rental type code system, similar to that you already are using for your genre and condition type codes. This will enable you to add new forms of ways to access the media, such as a streaming or queuing option. The last change is the separation of a customer's membership data. This will enable you to add multiple customers to a single membership, such as in the case of adding multiple family members to a single account. It would also make it easier to create a membership type code. Now, a membership type code will enable you to determine a customer's value to Flix2You. You could give these customer type codes descriptors such as Platinum, Gold, or Silver membership, or something like a family or business membership. Now on to security. The first thing we want Flix2You to do is to change to an HTTPS website, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. HTTP is just not suitable for transferring customer personal information or credit card information, especially credit card information. This will also give your website as well as your company legitimacy if the SSL certificate needed is purchased from a major company such as VeriSign. Another area that needs to be considered is incident response. What will your company do in case of an incident? These incidents can encompass things such as a natural disaster, a power outage, unauthorized personal information disclosure, or vulnerability enumeration by a malicious entity such as a hacker. These procedures and standards will identify exactly how your company will prepare for, identify, and recover from any of these incidents. Now on to our database dashboards. How will your management team and other staff get to the information held in the database? We've created 4 examples for you. The first is a movie statistics. This dashboard will provide statistical information on the individual movies, such as a daily rate, the number currently in stock, or the number of rentals. The next dashboard is movie information. This will provide descriptive information on the individual movies, such as the release year and genre. The next dashboard is meant for your management team. It will give individual customer information, such as their name, address, or contact information. The next dashboard is the financial information, which is also meant for your management team. This will provide financial information on Flix2You as a whole, such as the number of sales and rentals in a certain amount of days, as well as current and projected value. Now our privacy and user agreements. The privacy statement that we've created for you addresses your customers and what Flix2You does for them to protect their information. It describes our processes and lets them know we will give them copies of information of any personal information we have on them based on the Data Protection Act of 1998 for UK citizens and the Right to Privacy Act of 1974. You might ask, why does the United Kingdom Data Protection Act affect a company that's based in the United States? The United States Supreme Court has deemed, under this Data Protection Act, that if a UK citizen holds a membership with you, you will have to give them information. The user agreement and terms of use described what a customer can and cannot do while accessing the system. Barring any questions from any of you, that's all I have today. I would again like to say thank you to Flix2You for giving us this opportunity, and to say that the Delta database team would love to provide you with this solution. Thank you very much and have a nice day.